How do we not do this awkwardly?
I think once we get going, we'll be okay. We just have to once we start going, it'll come naturally.
What's the actor's name again?
I don't know.
Oh, we should know this.
What is that actor's name?
We're doing chaos. We have what are our weapons? Do we have any weapons? Oh, we got miniguns. What's that guy's name? He was in Basic Instinct 2. Like, that's all I know him from. I didn't even see the movie. I just know he's in it. Like, somebody had to be the counterpart to Sharon Stone in that movie. He took the role. The brave man.
We can't judge guys by stuff they do early in their career. Let's see. Governor, Walking Dead. Bill Blake?
No, that's not his name. That's our guy.
Must be the guy.
They got pissed off one of our own guys.
Oh, David Morrissey. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, David Morrissey. That's right. Yeah.
He's just one more guy being British on an American show. In the American South.
Yeah, the entire show is British people, right?
It is. I don't know what that's all about, but
they can do us better than we can do us. I think.
They can do us better than we can do them, except for Robert Downey Jr. He does a really good British guy.
He does
good Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah. Well, anyways, what do you think about the show? I think I don't know. I read somewhere like the showrunner isn't it different showrunners than what they had last season?
Yes, they keep switching those guys out.
And so I thought last season they kind of said that they were tired of where the governor was going, and so these guys came in and they were open to say like they weren't going to use the same thing; it's going to be a different thing. And they were like they made a kind of a reference that the governor wasn't going to be a big deal, and then all of a sudden the governor's a big deal, which is kind of fun, like the misdirection stuff.
Oh, is that what it is? You use misdirection, not just no direction?
Well, it could have been no direction too, I guess. Because this is dramatically different than what they had last season. Last season he was just cartoonish the entire time with no sense of purpose other than his daughter. And I guess he's kind of got that still, but at least they're giving some layers which are interesting. Although it is an awkward thing to do to have an entire episode dedicated to not the main people at all. And it looks like next week's the same damn thing.
Yeah, it does. And it looks like I'm worried they're going to try and rehabilitate him, and I think that's the worst thing to do.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Is it even possible?
They kind of rehabilitated the, Michael Rooker's character.
Yeah, they did for a few seconds before they killed him off. Is that the whole idea, like rehabilitate him and then kill him?
That's the plan. You get rehabilitated, then you become a zombie.
Yeah. That's a good way to go out.
Maybe that's the whole theme of the show, is that redemption's never too far away or something.
So, zombieism's like a metaphor for heaven. Like that.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, so you become enlightened, I guess, and now you just eat bodies.
And eat other people, yeah, so they can become enlightened. It really is. The whole thing's a metaphor for conversion and kind of evangelism. It's all about bringing other people around, yeah. Saving souls.
Walking Dead's a positive story, really.
Ultimately. It really is. It really is very much more lifting than you'd think.
Yeah, I'm not even using the gun, by the way. I'm just stomping everywhere. I'm not
sure food stomping's a hell of a lot better on this.
Yeah, the gun's horrible. I'm not sure why we want to why we want to unlock the gun.
Yeah, it's not destroying anything, that's for sure. You can't kill enough people with it to make it worthwhile.
It's like the pea shooter in Contra.
It really is. We have to do this one again, though. I'm not sure. I think I'm the stomping thing a little late in the game.
Yeah, me too. We'll see. But yeah, I think it's the governor. It was a fascinating choice. I tweeted about it because it felt like when he walked around with the eye patch and the long hair, he looked just like Snake Plissken.
Yes.
It bothered me, and no one else called it as far as I can tell. Even like Solid Snake, even.
Yeah, I was thinking Solid Snake when I saw him too. Almost cartoony with the disheveled, enormously tall, bearded guy with an eye patch. It's almost a stereotype.
Yeah. And I don't know if they're off book now from the source material. Like I
think they are. Yeah,
they are. Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. I hope it pans out well. I hope these guys. I mean, I thought the virus thing was relatively interesting this season so far, and it's better than last season because last season just kind of meandered for the entire time, like the farm season in a lot of ways to me.
Well, the really long periods of waiting for people to discover the governor's evil when everyone else knows the governor's evil, and that's sorry, hit that again.
You don't like dramatic irony?
Well, just that kind of suspense taking that long to build up, I think is hard to watch for a really long period of time. Like,
wasn't it great that last season the punchline was that Andrea dies? Like, who cared at that point?
I feel like that was trying to elicit that thing that where you give the audience what they want and then you make them feel bad for wanting that.
Yeah, I don't think it quite achieved the goal.
No, and I think she was just smart to. Good for her to leave the show. Sometimes you just got to get going.
Well, what else is she doing? Did she go off to better things?
Hopefully. It's better than making people disliking you, as they're seeing you, making all these bad choices on Walking Dead.
Yeah, I'm looking for like a ABC holiday movie with her and Dean Cain or something.
Yeah, I think that's where most people go, Hallmark movies and those kind of things.
I saw that guy on some entertainment show the other day talking about his new holiday movie, and he openly admitted he's like 20 of these, like, I found Santa Claus in a hospital movies.
Oh, yes.
That's 20 of them? Seriously? That's all of them, I think, that exist.
No, I don't know. Like, Hallmark right now, I think, is running just endless series of these movies, which is, I guess, there's really easy to make and people will watch, but...
Who?
I don't know. Whoever's around during the day watching the Hallmark channel.
Like, that can't be worth any ad dollars whatsoever, but what do I know? Those people are not buying anything. But anyways, so yeah, we'll see about David Morrissey. I'm going to keep watching. Everybody's going to keep watching. We're going to complain and be upset about it, but everybody keeps watching the same show. So it's like
it's the same show. It's the show everyone's watching right now. It's got the Game of Thrones place in terms of the one everyone's talking about.
Yeah, until Game of Thrones comes back, right?
Yeah, like, I don't think they'll ever have these two shows on at the same time for that purpose. It's like you can't have, if they're competing with each other, they're going to cancel each other out. So.
Yeah, well, maybe Low Winter Sun will come around. Oh, that sounds terrible.
I think they're just going to add zombies to Low Winter Sun. That's the
way to do it.
Next season. Mystery is where'd all these zombies come from. You'd watch that show if that came on. You'd watch the No Winter Sun with Zombies show. I would definitely watch that show.
It's a natural evolution.
Natural evolution. Zombies just in every show.
But yes, David Morrissey coming back. I think it's a good twist, good arc. I hope it pays off. But
I disagree. I think he should have just disappeared, and they should move in a different direction. But
okay, so on that point, where did they go?
Oh, that's a good question. Someone else has to come and try and take the place away from them, or they have to hear about some other community out there a long ways away they're going to try and get to, something like that, to draw them out of the prison.
They got to get out of that stupid prison, right? I know it's cheap on like the cost of budget for the show, but they got to get out of it. Like it's so boring.
But it's really slow and really dark and kind of miserable, and after a while it gets kind of hard to watch that. And then moving on to something else. I mean, maybe that's where the season will end up, is that they decide to brave it and go. But that's the hallmark of zombie movies, right? They always give up the safe place to go to a new place. They always do that.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Whether it's the mall or the base, whatever it is, they always gotta be in a safe place and get up and go someplace else.
Yeah.
So okay, by the way, does that mean the governor then is dropping the birds, or does that mean that D'Angelo is dropping the birds, or who's attacking them? Do you think? Well,
so I was kind of disappointed last week because it seems like there's still more of the backstory to tell. That should have been a one-episode thing to tell the backstory at most, but the last 2 episodes to do this or even more is sort of frustrating. So I think it's going to be the governor. I think he's probably going to have his new family killed off. You see the guy in orbit?
I tried to. He was getting on my nerves. He has superpowers as well.
Yeah, he does. He's one of the superhero guys. I'm slamming the wall a little bit. I think blood stains everywhere. It's horrible.
He seems to be invulnerable, but yeah.
He dies eventually.
Oh, okay.
Once I bleed him enough over here. So, what else?
I guess that's about it for the governor. I was disappointed because, like you, I kind of wanted, one episode to get us back on track here. This is only like a 13-episode season, right? So we need to, whatever's going to happen needs to hurry up and happen.
Agreed.
And I'm kind of tired. I think the governor was kind of disappointing last season as a villain, and so I'm ready for them to move on to new villains or new situations. And like you, as much as I like the disease thing, I'm glad they've ended that, and I'm ready for the next thing. And I think it has to be something about moving on to another place.
I just can't believe how much better TellTale's Walking Dead was than the actual show.
That's a really good point. Maybe we can shift into that next. Is the TellTale Game of Thrones idea. That's such a great idea to me. Of course
I totally disagree with you on this point.
Oh, good.
Completely disagree with you on this one. All right, why is it a good idea?
Well, because what I think TellTale does well is they take a franchise that is open to having characters exist in that world that have nothing to do with the main plotline of that world, right? So you don't need to hear. There's plenty of people who can be in the Game of Thrones world that have nothing to do with the families or can be tangentially related to the families. And so you can expand the world without interacting with Rick and Walking Dead by showing someone else who's dealing with the zombie outbreak. And you can do the same thing here. You can have people on the dealing with the walkers, or what they call the dead things that are walking around, or you can have people dealing with what's the main city everyone's in?
We're not Game of Thrones enthusiasts, apparently.
Yes, we're not very good at Game of Thrones.
We like the show.
King's Landing. You have people in King's Landing. You can have people just all, there's a million different characters you could introduce and take different perspectives on. They haven't run into main characters if you want, or just do something completely different.
Okay, so here's my concern. So I think that works really well with Walking Dead. And Walking Dead is kind of an easy environment. Everybody knows about zombie kind of infestation kind of worlds and movies and stuff. It's a very familiar concept. So creating a storyline in there is not terribly hard, and I think they created a pretty compelling but obvious one, but it's good. Still, I like Clementine a ton and enjoyed that adventure completely. I did not play Back to the Future. I'm not sure many people did that they came up with, and I did not play through the Sam & Max games, even though I think they probably had some help from the original people on Sam & Max or something, but I'm not sure those were that terrible. But I don't think many people played Sam & Max all the way through. Maybe I'm wrong. But I think where this becomes a problem is with Game of Thrones, because I think it's just a fantasy story, but it's so good because of what R.R. Martin does, right? With the characters, making them as compelling as possible, as hated as possible, and then giving you not what you want, but giving you kind of a twist or whatever that keeps you compelled to watch it or read it. And I'm not sure I trust that to go to somebody else to write in that same environment. I think that's something that he does really well. It kind of stands out because of that. But no, you can't just take over a fantasy world and say it's Game of Thrones and have the same impact that he has. And I think it actually may lessen kind of the story he's trying to create by having somebody else work on the same environment. I mean, maybe they're going to pull him in and have him be, writing this somehow, but I'd be worried also that it distracts him from finishing up his own damn story. Which is my problem.
Well, I'm not more worried about that. I don't know if these projects, keep him from finishing the books. So he's not really finishing the books at a breakneck pace anyway, right?
No, he's doing speeches and stuff. He's making a ton of money right now. So what does he care?
Yeah, he doesn't care. Yeah, he's not in a hurry to finish the series. I wouldn't think. Finishing the series would be a ridiculous move. You finish your last book and then you release it posthumously.
You're probably right. You're probably exactly right. Looking at the example of J.K. Rowling going, I'm not doing that. Like, she is insignificant at this point. Like, let's just hold on to this thing as long as possible.
Yes, exactly. Because I mean, he may have another good series in him, but you keep that world open and as long as you can, and keep people wondering how is it going to line up for Jon Snow or whoever else for as long as you can. Yeah. But anyway, I hear you as far as the main characters go, and I think his one is to kill off main characters and the Red Wedding and all that good stuff is something that makes the books really good, and though I haven't read the books, and it makes the series really good too. But at the same time, I think the reason that Sam & Max and Back to the Future probably weren't as successful is because they weren't really franchises that everyone was all that interested in. I think Back to the Future was a neat idea, but to be in the Walking Dead world is it's a really fun idea. I think it'd be kind of cool to see, to be in the zombie world too and tell another story within that.
Did you play The Walking Dead 400 Days or whatever?
No, just because everyone said it was really short, but it's on my list of things to do this holiday.
Okay, and so here's another thing. We've played the Fable one. Okay, and I think TellTale is getting a little fat and lazy at this point. Because the Fable one, people like it apparently. We had horrible experiences playing. First of all, it was buggy as hell. It broke down on us several times. Like the ending sequence of the game, you fight a goblin in a bar. During the fight sequence, the game broke down, so all we could do is it had a close-up shot of the goblin's butt on our screen. It wouldn't leave. It just stayed there, and so we had to reset the console to get past that sequence. And it was so awkward because the character would look at it and look away, and it just kept repeating the same motion over and over again. But it just got stuck right there. And not only that, but it was just full of loading screens the entire time. Like half the time we played it was just loading. Which is a technical concern, but I feel like TellTale is getting a little bit lazy after Walking Dead being so successful in all these awards. And I thought Fable, the first part, was moderately interesting. It had kind of a good kind of twist at the end, a good cliffhanger kind of ending. But ultimately, there wasn't a lot that happened. You talked to a couple people, you stopped a couple fights, and then it's over. And Walking Dead's the same way, but Walking Dead was pretty concise, and I thought they came out faster. I'm a little concerned that Fable won't pay off the way that Walking Dead did, and I paid for the whole thing immediately. I paid for the season pass, and I haven't been able to play it yet. And that's I understand it's probably just part of the release cycle and all that. I get it, but I don't know. So far, I'm not terribly happy with the Fable series that they released.
Well, I think that's where your concerns for this one comes from, is that you haven't had a good experience with Fable, and so you're not so sure about him. Can they do anything else really well? And I can totally see that. Fable doesn't interest me as much as Game of Thrones does, for the same reason that like Once Upon a Time doesn't interest me as much as Game of Thrones does, or any of those other shows. Just because it is fantasy doesn't mean it's like the same. You know, I don't really have much use for these. You know, it's Manhattan but with unicorns kind of shows. Where, yeah, it's like the real world, but it's also in this fantasy world. And so maybe it's that kind of genre doesn't really lend itself very well to it either. I mean, it wasn't like Walking Dead was.
God, I love knowing we must
was
be
a comic book
cousins
before it
in
became
no reason
directly
to
into the
Head back
game,
in, I'll give
right?
you
It
more
was
to do.
Walking Dead was a comic book, then it was a TV show, and then it became a game. And Walking Dead is following that same path. I'm sorry, Game of Thrones is following that exact same path. The book first, and then made it to a open-ended or a very accessible TV show, and then into a video game.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you're right. There's more source material to play with or whatever, but I don't trust other people to. I mean, we had some of the other fantasy stories, and not all of them have been that great. And I think R. Martin stands out alone with what he does, and so maybe it'll work out. Maybe it'll be okay. But I didn't like the previous game that much they released. I love the first Walking Dead. I didn't play the other ones they've released, and so I am skeptic right now. I'm not confident yet.
Yeah, I can see that,
and I think it's also they're kind of getting ahead of themselves. Like they've got 4 more Fable ones to do first.
Yeah.
And they've done 1 of the 5, and they're already talking about the next series. Are they that like disinterested or that scattered? I mean, just do a really good job on the rest of the Fable series first, and then let's talk about the next game you want to produce.
So I mean, none of these titles for this Man of Steel movie sound any good to me at all.
All right, so catch me up on this one. I thought you wanted to talk about the video game. What do you want to talk about on Man of Steel?
Oh, Man of Steel, they released this list yesterday, maybe just earlier in the week, of all these possible titles for the Man of Steel movie. Because I guess Warner Brothers had licensed these titles. And so some of the titles are Man of Steel, Battle of the Night, Man of Steel, Darkness Falls, Man of Steel, Shadow of the Night, Man of Steel, Beyond Darkness, Man of Steel, Black of Night, Night Falls, The Blackest Hour, The Darkest Hour, The Darkness Within. Those are all horrible.
Yeah, so first of all, is it night with a K?
Sometimes it is, and sometimes it isn't.
It's so clever. It's so clever. We got to use it.
Exactly.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, and the whole thing is none of these are superior to Superman versus Batman as far as the title goes.
Yeah. That's pretty terrible. And there's already a Darkness Falls movie.
Darkness Falls already a movie. Beyond Darkness, wasn't that the Star Wars Trek movie this year?
Yeah, wasn't it? Or Darkness?
Into Darkness.
Yeah, what was it?
Star Trek Into Darkness.
Into Darkness. Beyond Darkness sounds like, I don't know, a video game or something. I don't know. It's
bad video game you wouldn't play.
So this is just going to be the the Batman vs Superman movie, right? That's all it is.
Yeah, it really is. That's what it is. I think. Which I guess if it's a Superman movie, it's Man of Steel. I guess that means he'll defeat whoever the final boss of the movie is. Really, it's just they really should call it like it's gonna be like a world's finest thing or something like that. Maybe they can call it that. But I don't know. I'm trying to think of what would be a better title for Batman versus Superman or Superman versus Batman. But I think it's really hard to top Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, I really like the original title for Hancock. Tonight He Comes. I wish that was the title. I wish we had that in our title list somewhere. Yeah, that's a tough one, man. I didn't see the update on that one, but there's no good option in that list. You're right. The Batman vs Superman is to the point and it's obvious, and people like Freddy versus Jason still. So I mean that title works. Why change something that's good? You know.
For certain, at least you know what you're getting. You know, it's like, okay, I got you.
Exactly.
No mysteries here.
Why are we messing around, guys? Really, let's not be these. Come on.
Where's Green Arrow in this? Oh, that's right. It's Batman versus Superman.
I came back from, I turned off the Xbox today, and Green Lantern is on, and I couldn't find the remote control fast enough to get away from that channel. Like
it's really bad.
That's a horrible movie.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, back to your point. I don't have a better title than Batman vs Superman. I don't think there's a better way to do it. And are they trying to deviate from the source material?
Well, I don't know what source material they really go from other than.
I thought there's a comic.
Let's see, The Dark Knight Rises. Or no, wait, not Dark Knight Rises. God, Dark Knight Returns, I guess.
Which is this the one where it's like in the future and Batman's older and?
Yeah, that's the only time he's fought Superman, I think.
Okay. But it's not going to be that one? Or are they not being open about what it is yet?
I think they're not being open about what it is yet, but I think the idea is that we have fight guys here.
Let's do it.
News, right?
I'm just running through this and blowing it up.
Well, get on fire.
You're welcome.
I think that Ben Affleck is supposed to be an older Batman to, the kind of younger Superman, but I'm not sure how that's going to play out, or what that's going to mean.
Okay.
These rumors about Nightwing, too, are really strange.
What are they saying?
What
are they saying about Nightwing?
Oh, that he'll be in the movie someplace. They mentioned Adam Driver is playing Nightwing, which he doesn't. He's just not going to do it.
Who's Adam Driver?
Adam Driver is the guy from Girls.
Oh, I haven't watched the show.
Yeah.
Am I missing out on that show, by the way?
Not to me. I don't really get it myself. I like Lena Dunham a lot. I like that it defies expectations and everything, but I haven't really got into it. It's one of those shows we'll watch when it's on. We don't really make a point to see it.
Are you a big fan of tiny furniture?
It's on my Netflix queue to watch.
Netflix keeps telling me to watch it. I just don't listen to Netflix very often.
Netflix keeps telling you to watch it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's...
I'm sure it's pretty funny. But there's always more episodes of Archer I can watch again. So.
Yeah. I'm hearing on that.
It's not targeted me, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. I'm excited to see it. Whatever it is, whatever they end up going with. I think it's I didn't see the last Superman movie though. I still haven't seen that one. That's
crazy when you haven't watched that movie. It's worth watching. I don't think you'll love it, but I think it's worth watching.
I've heard mixed reports in that. Actually.
The moment I walked into
really that being worth watching.
The crew was setting up.
Well,
I knew it all.
just I guess people are so furious about the finale.
Oh, it's silly. But the finale of the movie's perfect. It's dramatic and it goes to a place you don't think it's gonna go. I really like that.
Yeah, it's on I don't know. It's not on anything right now. I have to wait till it shows up somewhere. Maybe Netflix, I guess. Yeah, I need to check it out. But we'll see about the Superman. When's the Superman movie come out? The new one?
2015, I think. They're already filming it right now. It's crazy.
2015?
Yeah.
That's a long. What's the summer movie next year then? Why are they not worried about competing in July 4th in 2014?
Well, I think next year is a little too soon for them. This one came out this year. What is coming out next year? It's not the Avengers, is it? Oh, I guess it's Spider-Man, right? That's a big deal. Oh, and X-Men Days of Future Past.
Oh, yeah, that one looks okay. I don't know. I've not been impressed with X-Men in a while, but I still want to see it.
I didn't really like Days of Future. The first, X-Men movie they just... What's the one they...
The New Class?
The New Class. I really not big on that movie.
Well, it's awkward. It's like the Superman or Spider-Man 2 thing where the bad guy's kind of on his own trajectory the entire time. At the end, they kind of line up and fight each other. Like Kevin Bacon's in that submarine for like hours.
A long time, yeah.
That's the entire movie. Is Kevin Bacon's submarine.
He is more than a little similar to Lex Luthor in that movie, isn't he? He's got kind of his own crew and Miss Smocker and everybody. Yeah, he's...
Yeah, that's pretty true.
I'm supposed to fight you? Okay, I'm calling you. Okay.
It's not Double Dragon.
Make
not
sure
sure what
to get
they're
the
talking
package
about.
from the dealer.
Yeah, so we'll we'll see the X-Men movie. I am excited about that.
Really, I'm a little excited about the Spider-Man movie. I didn't really like the last one.
You got to be kidding me on that one. Seriously?
Jamie Foxx as Electro?
That's just so weird.
It's gonna be awesome.
That's interesting.
Why? Why do
Paul
this?
Giamatti as Rhino, and who knows who else?
I'm smoking crack.
Yeah, I'm not feeling anything.
Oh, good for you.
Damn it! This guy was
Well,
selling
long
a
dreams come
low-grade
true.
knockoff.
This
Or
is
maybe it
something
just
we can
doesn't
show
do
on
anything.
YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, I'm the
Hey, how do you
expert
change
here,
guns
remember?
again?
Hold down B.
Trust me, this wasn't what we're after.
You need to play that part in Grand Theft Auto where you
Alright,
start getting
I'll
high.
give
It's
this
kind of
one
fun.
of yours one more try, then we're helping
I
solve
have not touched Grand Theft Auto outside of when we played it. For real stupid
I played the
fun.
first few. The first time you get high is kind of weird. The second time you get high, it's great.
Then why'd we hit that last one at
Your floating around the city with this great music playing. I don't know what it is. It's very surreal. I need to figure out what the group it is, but it's a great little sequence.
I am just trying to get our
That's cool.
I liked it a ton.
That used to be my holiday game, I think. I need to play through that again.
Or for the first time.
Sorry, or for the first time, yeah. I was going to ask about that too, though. Is there a holiday game, like, last Christmas I played through Bully again, or most of it for some reason.
It's such a good game, isn't it?
It really is, like, surprisingly good. Like, it's really replayable. Of all these, I know that Red Dead Redemption is probably the best they ever did, but like,
you think
Bully,
so?
fine.
I mean, I guess you're saying Rockstar in general?
Yeah.
Over, like, of course, everything else they had, right? The Grand Theft Auto series and everything.
Yeah, well, I think, whenever a couple of reviewers have been talking about, at least for, maybe it's only for the Xbox 360, that was probably their best open world experience.
I need to play through the zombie one.
I can't believe you haven't done that. Yeah, that's crazy good.
Play through that and watch Superman one night. That's my plan.
Hey, if you were here, that's what we do tonight. Well, next up is Xbox 360. So, I'm sorry, Xbox. What's it now?
Xbox One.
Xbox One. That's weird how we're going backwards in numbers.
Well, yeah, their marketing campaign's been really bizarre this time. Like, I don't. I mean, there's a. First of all, I don't understand the consoles yet, and I feel so embarrassed saying that. I don't feel like there's been a launch of any consoles before. Even, like, I guess the Wii U I understand a little bit better than this cycle.
Well, I think that's my hesitation with it too, because I see it and I'm like, there's no game to play. Dead Rising 3 looks good, but not like viable. Like,
well, and you're going to regret that as soon as you pick it up. I mean, there's going to be the same kind of bizarre time-based thing where you have to get to the base a certain amount of time, like people start dying, and the weird stuff they do every time. That's just not great. How do we kill this guy?
I don't know. We're in trouble if he's in the water.
Yeah, I think we didn't plan on that.
Girl,
All right, I got him.
Feel really bad killing him there.
Yeah, just let him die naturally, I guess. But yeah, I think that there's just I don't understand the consoles this time. I don't really have any interest in buying any of them yet. See, I looked on Metacritic today at the best games for each console, just so I know what people are playing. Seriously, like one of the best games on the Xbox One is Zoo Tycoon. Like that makes the top of the list right now. Like that's horrible.
But don't you think there may be a marketing strategy where maybe what you do is there's going to be early adopters, so you put the system out there. You don't need anything to go with it. The early adopters will buy it no matter what. And then in about 3 or 4 months, you need to have a system seller come out for everybody else.
Yeah, and I think that's what the hell's going on?
Oh man, this stuff is.
Are we fighting somebody?
My guy's freaking out. I don't know what's going on. I think I'm turning the whole picture.
I don't know.
Whoa!
I'm high. Whoa! All right, cool. Yeah, I think that's what December 11th is going to be about. I don't know if you saw that too, but
what's that?
Fallout 4, probably.
Really?
Yeah. So Bethesda took out the trademark in Fallout 4, and then they have a countdown on their website for December 11th.
Oh wow!
And so I think when that gets announced, that's the day that we will decide it's time to buy a PS4. Like that's going to be the determining factor to do it.
Yeah.
When they tell me where it's coming from, when it's going to be out, and what console it's going to be best for, that'll probably determine everything I need to worry about.
There's no way you're outrunning me.
Yeah, okay. Fallout 4 would be a system seller. That's true. I would definitely pick something up then because Fallout 3, even New Vegas, I played that stem to stern. I loved it. All the glitches and everything. I love that game.
Whoa, my guy is losing his mind.
Come on, you slowpoke.
Yeah, I'd play Fallout 3 right now. In fact, if I didn't have anything to do today, I'd play it from start to finish, like right now. That's such a damn good game.
It is. It's really fun. The characters are interesting. The fights are cool. The weapons are fantastic. It's really, really cool. I'm excited. That's the announcement.
Yeah. Are you? Is your guy high, by the way?
Yeah, I'm getting some weird. These are deliberate glitches here, right? Like it's supposed to look like this.
Yeah, the game's really losing its mind. Whoa.
Whoa.
But I'm following Shandi around. She run like crazy fast.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you're right here too.
Yeah,
but
that's someone knows too.
That's the trick for the new consoles. Is the system seller game. It's not going to be Zoo Tycoon. It's not going to be Killzone, unfortunately, as much as I want it to be.
Yeah.
It's not going to be any of these other things. Fallout will do it. I don't know why they didn't pay a ton of money to get Grand Theft Auto 5 on the new console. Like that's what they should have done. Maybe they couldn't do it. Maybe they couldn't afford to do it. But that's what they really needed to do. Is make Grand Theft Auto 5 exclusive to one of the consoles.
Yeah, I think that's a good argument. I think that, oh wait, are they fighting?
Ooh,
Oh, okay.
that hurts. Yeah,
don't
remind
know
me
what's
not to do that
Fine.
again.
DJBC.
I guess he's on our team, okay. Good, I'm glad that worked out.
Point. Sorry, you're right, boss.
I think, well, again, for us, I think that would make more sense, because we're waiting for the game we can play. We want to go home with the system, then have it just kind of, you know... Whoa,
Also,
God, oh.
is this the worst, like, launch of consoles ever? I mean...
No. I think for folks that are not like us, who just buy anything, that's what they're selling to right now.
Well, that seems like a problem, though. I mean, I don't know there are a lot of people that... There are some people who do that, sure, but I think that... I can't think of a previous launch, even like Xbox 360 had Perfect Dark Zero and Cameo at the time, right?
Yeah.
And Xbox One, of course, had Halo.
Hold on, are you tripping?
Yes,
But
that was probably the best.
you think? I mean, I think Super Nintendo for me, just experience-wise, was the best.
Oh, it's true. Or the original Nintendo, even back when you played Mario Brothers, and that wasn't Zelda out at that time too.
It was, yeah. Yeah, but I think Super Nintendo, just the experience was better. Mario 64 is great. Nintendo 64 for that. Mario 64 is great for that. But Super Nintendo just had a lot. Final Fantasy and Mario, Super Mario World.
Super Castlevania with that too, or that came out subsequently?
I think it was pretty close to that. You guys are falling from the sky.
That's
Not sure
crazy.
about,
and load, you pervert.
also, ActRaiser, was that around the same time?
Yeah, I think that was. That was a crazy
I
game.
love that game.
You have to destroy everyone with earthquakes to make them tough enough to...
Yeah, and introduce music and it calms the world down. It's great. And then ActRaiser 2 comes out and it's horrible.
Yeah, but
It's
It's
horrible,
a sequel
yeah.
to Rastian. It's just weird.
how'd you figure that out?
Um,
I've gotten better with tech.
Graphic-wise, pretty cool though.
yeah. Yeah, I think this is the worst launch for me as far as I can tell. I don't know. I think we need the new games to come out. I think Metal Gear 5 will be significant when it kind of gets more clarity on what it's going to be like and when it's going to be out.
Yeah, that's the thing that I was going to say. I think what they're trying to do is not just be a game system. I think they want to have be the thing in your living room that everything runs through. So
That's
like almost they're not even trying to be.
People have been trying to do that forever, and I don't think it's a successful marketing campaign. You can't convince us that you're going to be the de facto box in my TV if you're not really good at one good thing. You know, you have to be great at games, and then I'll put you there, and then you can maybe introduce other features. Like I love the PS3 for Netflix now is just so quiet compared to the Xbox. But I did not buy it for Netflix and Blu-ray. I bought it for games.
Yeah.
And that's I don't know. I think you gotta have competitive advantage over something, and then once you're there. Once you have the relative advantage and you're there, then you can introduce new features and dominate that and just corner my my home media setup. But until that point, I don't know. I don't see that. I don't understand the marketing at all. And the commercials advertise the same thing. You can be playing a game and talking to somebody on Skype essentially or whatever it is. And that's just not something I've been asking to do.
Yeah, I hear you. I was watching Key and Peele were making jokes about this.
Really?
The show. You watch that show?
I have not watched it nearly enough. I see Pat Oswalt
It's really
tweet all
good.
the time.
They had a lot of jokes around that, and they were showing off the features too. Just how you can be talking to someone and we're playing a game, they can pop up on your screen and stuff. Which I mean, I gotta say, like I'm sitting here, I haven't shaved this morning. I'm really not looking forward. I would not want to be on your screen. It feels like if you're gonna have that kind of life, you gotta look good all the time. You know?
Yeah. I don't see it yet. I don't know how they get in that market either. I'm not sure how you can really corner that area. It's a very nuanced, complex environment, and so you're going to take over kind of the MSO cable provider and become better than my cable box or whatever. And I don't know, you can be the media station, that's fine. But you're right, I'm not looking to webcam people as I play games.
Well, maybe that's the thing. It's a bigger shift than they give it credit for. Like it's going to be a big deal when people start, always talking on Skype whenever they talk to somebody.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true.
When you're always going to be visible to someone, that's going to be a different way of communicating in a maybe more profound way than those appreciated.
I can see that.
I'm with you. It's not enough to me. I mean, especially when it costs $500. So to be able to talk to the computer and everything else, it's hard to get past that price point without a game to play that's included with it.
Yeah. I mean, what is it going to take? Is it going to take a new game? How do you? I don't know. I don't really know how they get back into this really well. Maybe that's not going to matter. Maybe it'll be fine. And they're smart to come out with Black Friday. I mean, they'll probably make a ton of money right now.
Guess it's just you.
Wait, this period here,
Yeah.
Nowhere left to go.
I think that's true. But I think both systems are going to sell a lot. I'm not sure why. I don't think one system's going to dominate the other or anything like that.
And who dies?
Yeah, I saw also Microsoft tweeted about wishing Sony congratulations recently for their launch, and it was kind of an effective thing because Sony kind of stopped being negative with them
Now
recently on
that's-
Facebook, and
was awesome. Told you we
it's,
were
it's
the
kind of a
same.
surreal approach. Slate talked about it on their on
Yeah.
one of the headlines recently.
We're cool.
Yeah, I mean,
Totally
and
cool.
Sony did the same thing to Microsoft too, right? They just
Yeah,
complimented them on the launch and everything else. It's a neat PR thing.
I think they need each other in certain respect, obviously, just for competition and.
Well, I don't see why they can't just merge up. Sony can make all the TVs, Microsoft can make the box, and there you go.
It's a monopoly at that point. They're risking federal investigations then, but yeah.
Maybe that's why they need each other. They need to be able to.
I think. I mean, at the end of the day, for me, there's not going to be any really killer game that comes out for a while, in my opinion. I think kind of what people are saying is PS4 is going to corner the market on the independent space, and I think that's a good move. I think that's where I see any kind of advantage to the new consoles is if they really cultivate, or curate good independent content and make it easy for creative developers to make games and release them quickly, like it looks like they're going to be able to do. That's all that really matters to me.
Well, and some of my best experiences, probably most of my best experiences gameplay this year have been these online or these independent games. Like I really like Your Walk and oh shoot, what's the other one I was talking about on the website?
Device 6.
Device 6, and
Yeah.
oh, and of course the Stanley Parable. Like all these games are just a lot of fun, and if we can make it where anyone can develop a game, it's almost become like an artistic expression. That's gonna be really cool when that happens.
Yeah, commoditized development software, people can do it pretty easily. It's all that really matters right now. There's few developers I'll chase, and I want to see what Gearbox does next, and I want to see what Sony comes up with, and those kinds of things. But there's not much to that original IP from big AAA developers. I'm curious about at the moment. I couldn't care much less about the Call of Duty series right now.
No, I know.
That's where the money is.
Assassin's Creed as well.
God, they've really got to change that up. I don't know how they're still making money doing those things. I cannot get through the third one to save my life. I have better luck reading massive novels than I have trying to play through Assassin's Creed 3. It's more interesting to me sometimes.
Well, maybe they'll have
What's that?
I think that the pirate thing has worked pretty well for them, but I'm with you. It'd be nice if they took it in another more original direction somehow. How'd you get up there? Oh, there we go.
Made it work. All right.